Hi everyone, I'm Jim Murphy, a certified financial planner with New and Schwander Asset Management. We're located over in McFarland and really just wanted to reach out. Typically I'm making calls out to plan administrators around the Madison area or even current plan administrators that we're working with. And it's just different now. Many people aren't in the office, or in some cases they're working from home. And most of the time right now, they're not really thinking about the 401k plan, which I can understand. Certainly during these times, there's other things to focus on. But I would like to mention that it is a time that we can look at reviewing costs and also looking at employee satisfaction and different benefits that we could offer to employees. So one thing is that 401k plan or a 403b plan for a nonprofit organization. And to start off with, really, we like to take a look at, I would say, a plan review, which is taking a look at either the expenses within the plan, the overall plan structure, and even taking a look at the current provider and do almost an evaluation on that provider to see that they're providing you with the resources and the value that you would be expecting from that plan service provider. So, taking a look at the 401k and the 403b plans, there is a document called the 408b2 document, which sounds just as exciting as it really is, but it will actually take a look at the expenses line item by line item within your plan. Understanding that document takes a little bit of time and a little bit of, calculations to make all the numbers come out the way they should be. But one thing that we like to do is look at those 408b2 plan disclosures. Those are given to plan participants, but also given to plan administrators on an annual basis, and typically can be found on the website of your current plan provider and printed off. What we're going to do then is take a look at the actual expenses that will break down for the plan. So we're going to take a look at the expenses within the mutual funds, see if there's any administration expenses. Also, we're going to take a look at if there's any TPA expenses, record keeper expenses. Some plans, some insurance plans are going to have broker expenses, investment advisor expenses, also management fee expenses and portfolio expenses. There can get a long list of expenses based on the provider that we're doing a review on. And deciphering what those expenses are and how they're being paid is really critical, one, for their participants, but two, for the business. So you can really analyze where money is coming out. And sometimes if the money is not physically being written out of the company checkbook, it's being taken out of plan assets within that company plan. So it's definitely good to have a full understanding of the expenses. When we're in the process of doing that, the goal here is to save the company money, but also to help these participants out. In many cases, lots of these fees are being pulled out of the participants' accounts, and they aren't really aware of these expenses because they're not always clear. They're not clearly seen. So being able to showcase with them and show to them how these expenses do affect return over time is a value that we like to provide as 401k and 403b providers that kind of shine some light on a vast difference between some 401k or retirement plan providers and other providers. So it's one differentiating factor that we like to look at. So while we're doing this, I kind of like to say, what fees are we going to uncover? I mean, what's the discovery process going to be? And it really depends on, I would say, if it's, if you have a 401k plan or a 403b plan with an insurance provider, there's a long list of fees like I went through before that we can discover and then attribute to that plan and show you how those are being pulled out of participants' accounts and the company's account over time, and how that will affect return over time and the actual cost over a 1 to 2 5-year period. And as crazy as it sounds, those fees will continue to grow as that plan grows. So many of those fees are going to be asset based. So 2 to 3% of a plan, as it continues to grow, can really have that fee grow over time, which in our 401k 403b plan world, as an advisor, we would like to see that percentage drop over time. So to do that, as that plan grows, you actually would want to have the percentage of fees decrease, and that's really where we're going to provide that value. So the other thing we like to take a look at then is the plan structure. So how can we provide value to the plan? So looking at different changes, adding a safe harbor element to a 401k plan, a profit sharing element, increasing deferrals from the company, also increasing different match percentages so that employees or participants can be incentivized to increase their contributions. Then also try to take a look at, from an owner's perspective, what are the goals of your owner or the company owner in terms of what they're putting away, and how do we maximize their contributions and also then provide a great benefit to the participants. So that's to begin with, and I know that's probably a lot to start off with. So just a quick review is taking a look at that 408b2 disclosure, right? That will give you the plan breakdown. Taking a look at the actual 401k plan to see the actual structure. How are participants receiving education? Are they being talked to about retirement planning? Are they learning more about investing? Is the advisor going with them and meeting with them, talking to them about different strategies? How do you want to be reviewing your plan every year? Do you want your advisor working with you, meeting with the participants, doing reviews with a different, like a profit sharing committee? So these are all functions that should be taking place. And in order for us to do this, we would take a look again at that 408b2 disclosure, and then break it down and take a look at the expenses, take a look at the investment options, and then what we will do is present all the findings and then say, typically, this would be another alternative for your company. This would be a way that we could actually save money for participants. And these are also additional investment options that we could have in the plan and showcase how diversified they are compared to the current plan. So it's a real apples to apples comparison, and that's really how we can provide the best review, actual expenses for each item, and how they affect the plan, and also take a look at the investments, how they affect the participants, if they're meeting the goals of the plan, and then also is that plan advisor meeting the goals of the plan, and are they meeting the goals of the plan administrator? Are they fulfilling their duties? So those are really the 3 points that we'll continue to look at. These reviews can be done annually, the benchmarking review. There's also an RFP type of review, so it's a request for a proposal. That's a very formal review, and that can be done by multiple providers. That's typically a request that you as a plan administrator would put together, and then put it out to different advisors that you'd be looking to work with potentially, and they would then answer your questions and maybe review your plan if that's what they had wanted to do, but also then maybe talk about more about their services and their cost structure. So when we do an RFP, we always will look at your current plan, do a benchmarking review along with it, so that we can do that apples to apples comparison. Otherwise, it's hard to do a full analysis of the plan unless the advisor really knows your current plan. So to dig into that, you have to do a benchmarking review. So these features, these reviews, these are going to benefit your plan in the long run, right? So you can offer competition. So by reviewing the plan, you're having that advisor, or you're having somebody look at the expenses. You're taking other providers and having them compete for your business. So that's going to drive down the cost. But you're also going to learn. You're also going to learn different features you can add to the plans, and they're going to really find value in what you're going to be provided by the advisor, and how they're going to be working with your participants, how that will then affect the plan, how that will affect the employees, and really provide more than just a resource to have people put their retirement assets into, but really provide a long-lasting resource by offering an advisor that's going to work with those participants, build those relationships, and really provide that benefit into the retirement plan benefit. So by doing these reviews, it just really just builds up the strength of your plan. So as you know, we do these benchmarking reviews for plans. I'm happy to always come out, meet with you, introduce you to members of our firm, and at least review the plan, give you different ideas possibly if you're looking to restructure a plan, and then look at the expenses in that plan. To me, that's really the underlying structure of the plan is you got to get a feel for those expenses and feel that are the ones that you're paying now worthwhile, and do an analysis then of the current provider to see if you're getting the value you deserve. So if anyone has any questions or would like to just take a look at the plan, I'm not going to say a quick look. It does, takes a little investigation, but certainly our firm, we're happy to do that for you. It's complimentary. It gives us an opportunity to come in, meet with you, find out a little bit more about your current setup, and then provide an apples to apples comparison, so that we're providing the right amount of information and the right information for you to make an educated decision. So I'm Jim Murphy with New & Schwander Asset Management. I plan on probably doing a specific plan breakdown an example at some point in time here. Just kind of want to see how the feedback is. Look forward to working with you, and let me know if any questions. Thank you.